Alright everyone, we just got done talking about Sadiq Khan falling on some unfavorable times over in London. Now we've got some actual good news from here in the United States. Well, it's mixed. It's good news on its face, but it comes with a lot of caveats. And that's that Rahm Emanuel, the disgraced mayor of Chicago, is not going to seek another term. Now he's saying, well, I want to spend time with my family. They're the most important to me. It's like, yeah, you should value your family before Chicago's crime ensures that one of them gets randomly shot in a drive-by. Rahm Emanuel has overseen the explosion of crime in his city, the explosion of corruption. And we're talking the number of people shot every single weekend in Chicago is insane. If you were to take Chicago's gun crime statistics out of the total, this country would fall a few slots in the gun crime rankings just because Chicago wasn't there. It is one of the most violent, it's like going to Aleppo or something. Have you seen videos on YouTube of night noises in Chicago? People take recordings sometimes of noise. Some of them are quite long. Non-stop gunfire. People shooting at each other constantly. So you have sometimes 30, 40 shootings in a single weekend in this one city. A single city. I don't even think that counts the metro area. I think it's just Chicago at large, its actual incorporated area. I don't even think it counts the outlying areas that are individually somewhat blighted as well at times. So you've got a massive amount of crime. You've got poverty, high taxes. Rahm Emanuel is an idiot. He's an Obama cronyist. And it was really funny, and he's gotten in trouble for corruption too. It's like, I think the real reason is he's probably not willing to run again because he thinks he'll lose. But here's the caveat. The main caveat is that Rahm Emanuel is not going to get replaced by someone with common sense. He's not going to get replaced, for those on the right that are like cheering, he's not going to get replaced by a Republican. He's not going to get replaced by a conservative or anything. He's not going to get replaced by a libertarian. He's not going to get replaced by anyone with new ideas. He's good because of the machine politics of Chicago being as mafia-like as they are. He's going to get replaced by someone else, probably from within his own inner circle, by the way, who is going to be another fiscal hawk, another liberal, and another anti-gunner. That's who's going to replace Rahm Emanuel. The people of Chicago, unfortunately, the majority of them are masochists and believe that they should keep doing business the same way because somehow the alternative scares them. The alternative is, oh my God, people may have more guns. And in their tiny minds, somehow this conflates with higher gun crime. What it really means, of course, is people can defend themselves against the gangs that are already there. Rahm Emanuel also. You got to realize one of the big things about the old far left, that is the fiscal far left, the 80s, 90s sort of far left. None of them want drug reform or prison reform in this country. Mainly because the prison lobby pays them and the gun manufacturers don't, because they tend to be Democrats. None of them want to tackle the fundamental underlying disease. They only want to treat symptomatically and then they give you snake oil for it. That's how Rahm Emanuel and people like that operate. It's how Obama operated. They've got basically the same views. Obama didn't know how to tackle crime. His idea was, guns scary, therefore less guns means less crime. It's a caveman mentality. It's a very simplistic way of thinking that these people have. Now, many of them know better. They don't actually believe in that, and they're using it as a wedge issue. That's why he always dropped the issue after raising the specter of gun control, knowing full well, by the way, that there'd be record sales among gun manufacturers whenever he did this. Hell, the golden age of gun sales was Obama's second term, basically. Now they've gone back down to their long-term norm because they know the president's not going to steal a bunch of assault rifles, a bunch of super scary cosmetic hunting rifles. It's really funny. So Rahm Emanuel being gone is good, but he's not going to get replaced by someone with common sense. This is Chicago we're talking about. The mayor of Chicago is going to be a far-left fiscal hawk anti-gunner. That's what it's going to boil down to. The Republicans, it'll be funny. They'll probably try to come and say, well, Rahm's gone, we've got our chance. They'll get like 10% of the vote. Chicago is racked by crime because of successive Democratic administrations not knowing what they're doing. That's what it boils down to. It's like in Flint the other day. It's funny, Flint, Michigan. One of the progressives on Twitter, Estevel, of course, it's always Estevel, was like, oh, well, Rick Snyder is responsible for this problem. It's like Rick Snyder took over as governor in 2011. He's not the mayor of Flint. He doesn't serve on the city council of Flint. Those are all Democrats, far, far left Democrats. And the problem started before 2011. But to hear the left talk about it, it magically begins when Rick Snyder gets in office, because Rick Snyder's first proposal was, hey, let's fuck up Flint's water system. Let's screw a bunch of people in this urban area and taint their water with lead. It'll be a good time. Oh, environmental protections, we're going to scale those back. Trust me, the EPA doesn't give a shit if your water has lead in it. It's just that they care if someone finds out about it. They don't give a fuck about your health. They don't care under Trump any more than they cared under Obama, and they never will, because they're fucking bloated-ass bureaucracy that's only tasked with sitting on its fucking ass and doing nothing most of the time, ignoring Superfund sites for decades at a time while they contaminate everything in their path. Now, it's funny to see Rahm Emanuel get kicked to the curb, and he is getting kicked out. He looked at the polling and he said, well, I'm not assured that I'll win. I'll get attacked from within my... It's not about him worrying about Republicans. Trust me. It's about him worrying about this wave of progressives, so-called, because progressive doesn't exist on the left. They're regressives, really. They want to regress to the mid-1800s with Karl Marx, essentially. You've got these far-left candidates knocking off incumbents. Now, none of them long-term will be viable. It's gonna backfire on the Democrats in a spectacular fashion and rip them apart, I think. Hopefully you see a business Democrat upsurge afterwards that reforms the party into something that's worth voting for, so there's an alternative to the Republicans who keep shooting themselves in the foot like a bunch of morons, by the way, everyone other than Rand and Trump and the whole fucking party. The Democrats, Rahm Emanuel is worried about within the party someone who's, a moral far leftist might knock him off his pedestal. Well, he doesn't want to lose an election, so he's just going to go home with his toys and let somebody else take over. But he's a disgrace. He's even a disgrace by Chicago standards. What about that detention facility that was operating there that you heard so much about for so short a time, that Rahm Emanuel knew about and did nothing about, where the police were holding people, unlawfully and stealing from people and doing the normal corrupt, crooked cop thing that happens in Chicago? Do you know about that one? Did you know about the black site operating in the middle of fucking industrial Chicago? Probably not. No, people are outraged at him because he's not far left enough, probably, over in Chicago. That's probably why he's leaving. Oh my God, he's not fully funding every pension. He's not doubling the pensions. He didn't fire all the police to allow Antifa to just be the police now. What a horrible man. That's basically what the Democrats are devolving into. A bunch of morons. It's just a bunch of morons. That's about all. Peace out.